Then initial incremental load validation. Then I want to take, one agentic, AI agent I need to create, will, create, okay. And then we'll see how can we pass the, pass the prompts and we can, create our own agent and do the testing. That is what is the plan for today. So let us just see. From tomorrow, we will go to some other, validations 2 days. So let us just start. So let us start with guys, SCD validation. So SCD validation has, three kinds of SCD: SCD type 1, SCD type 2, and SCD type 3. Chitra, all the SCDs, slowly changing dimension. Yes or no? What is SCD type 1? Do you guys remember? Prashant? Anyone knows what is SCD type 1?
I think it retains the previous
Yeah, it keeps the updated value. Okay, it keeps the updated value. Let's suppose ID Ram is there, and his location is Mumbai, and then he is transferred to Pune. So the dimension table will only from Mumbai. Let's suppose it goes to Bangalore. So the only thing which will be present in the data warehouse is Bangalore. This is SCD type 1. Only keeps the updated value. That means this value, which is the old value I taken. Let's suppose one RAM Mumbai. This will not be shown in the database, and this value will be updated with the Bangalore value. So it keeps only the updated value. Yes or no? Uh, did you got some clarity, guys? It keeps the updated value. This is called SCD type 1. SCD type 2, it keeps the historic as well as the current value. That means, let's suppose this same person Ram. So one Ram, and he is in Mumbai, and from Mumbai he went to Bangalore. So his location is Bangalore. So his active flag will be, there's a column called as flag will be active here, which is represented by A, and there will be two more columns added. Let's suppose this is ID column, this is name, and this is location. So this is flag column, and here will be from date, and one will be to date. Okay, so from date and to date are the two columns will be added. That means this particular Mumbai, when he was this Ram was in Mumbai, so his flag is historic, and this is from from of one date to another date. Let's suppose first of Jan 25 to 31st of December 25. He was here, and from 1st of Jan 2026 he is from here. So this is SCD type 2. It keeps the historic as well as the updated value. And here will be an infinite date, 999999, and this, so an infinite date is given. Similarly for SCD type 3, it keeps, partial history, keeps partial history. That means not the complete history, but partial history. Let's suppose a person, Ram, he goes from, Mumbai. He went to, Bangalore, and from Bangalore, he went to, suppose Chennai. So only the last two values will be taken. Let's suppose one, Ram, and his previous location. There is a column called as previous location. So here will be a column, previous location. So previous location will have Bangalore as the, one column is actually added. Previous location is Bangalore, and his current location, we will write, the current location is Chennai. So one column will be added, location, current location, we can tell it as, current location. Current location is nothing but the Chennai, and one date column is also added here, guys, that effective from which date. So let's suppose, effective date that this particular person is effective from, he moved from Bangalore to Chennai from a particular, date is, given. In SCD type 2, there is surrogate key also added, unique key to identify every record. That is nothing but, surrogate key, system generated key is there, surrogate key. So these things we have, learned in our, ETL manual testing. So are you clear till this concepts, guys? so that I can tell you in automation.
Sir, I have confusion in SD as CD 2 and 3. So, sir, for suppose
Mm.
this Ram is from he was in Mumbai, then he moved to Bangalore, and then he moves to USA. So
Okay.
three records are there. So it will keep all the three records as the SCD2, or it will
It
keep
will
on.
keep all the historic records in, let's suppose it's going from Mumbai to Bangalore to Chennai. Then what will happen, Mukesh? Let's suppose, so Mumbai will be what? His previous record. So this is historic. Then Bangalore is again historic. So here it will be historic. And Chennai will come here with an active record. Yes or
Mhm.
no? So all the three will be there. This two will become what? Historic, Mumbai and, Bangalore, and Chennai will become the active. This is
And sir,
SCD type.
this
Right.
type 3, what is the basic difference? Because still means I
But
feel
it is not the complete history. It is the partial history, right? Only
okay.
last two records.
Okay, got it, got it. Okay, sir.
So this is
Mhm.
basic, guys, SCD, what we do, in our manual, SCD, we have, changed, slowly changing dimension. Now I want to, tell you the SCD type validations using, Python and PySpark. So for that, guys, let me just, show you the code. First, we have initialized the Spark session. Then we are just creating, guys, sample source and target data so that we can, tell you how the automation of SCD can be done. This is source data, this is target data, this is the columns. We are creating the, source data frame, target data frame, and then these are the key columns. And then we are seeing this source and target data frame. This is the actual validation. Let me just, execute it so that I can, tell you. So this is for a particular location. This person is there. No, if you see this person, he is moving from, let's suppose he's moving from India to USA for SCD type 1, which will be the value kept, Chitra, updated value. Let's suppose he went from India to US. So what will be the value which will be, remaining? Only the USA value will be there. Yes or no, guys? Because
Yeah.
SCD type 1 keeps the updated value. So for that,
Yeah.
we are just printing and getting the updated value. That is nothing but the USA for from the source and target and finding the count and comparing this count using if else. And similarly, we are doing the data validation using except all. Similarly, duplicate, we are writing the filter condition and null, we are writing is null method. So that is what we are going to see here. Let us just see. So SCD type 1, the SCD type 1 validation, if you see here, there are
Will you
two locations
please?
here, guys. One is what? India and one is USA. This is, let's suppose, your source. Now in the target, from India, he went to USA. So in the target, what will be only location which will be shown? It will be USA. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir. The current
The
location.
updated value. Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Now after that, what will happen? We have to, validate the count and data and all those things. So how can we validate? So for the count, we have to put a filter. What is the filter we have to take, for the updated, location USA? So that is what in the from the source. Let's suppose there's a source data frame. From the source data frame, I have put a filter location equals to USA and taken the count. So what will be the output if I print the count? For USA, how many records are there, Chitra?
One record.
Yeah, one record in the source and one record in the target. And then,
Okay.
you can just get the count and then you can put a if else. If source data frame count equals to target data frame count, make it as pass, else make it as fail, which is, matching. So it is pass. For data validation, what is the code we write? If I'm getting the source data frame, I put a filter for the location as USA, and target data frame is the target data frame. So how we get, source data frame except all target data frame and target data frame except all source data frame, and we are putting a union between them, and we are trying to see that. That is what we have written here. Yes or no, guys? How we will do the data validation? Can you tell me? Using except all. Do you remember? And we are not getting any record. Do you guys agree with me with this one? We have put a filter for the source data. We are getting the filter for the USA location. This is my source data frame with a filter condition as USA. Target data frame is USA only. Source minus target, we are using except all, and target minus source, we are using except all and putting a union between them. And we are seeing is there any differences? So we should get no record, and hence it is a pass statement for the data validation. For duplicate validation, we'll take the target data frame. We have grouping based on the, for the column, let's suppose employee ID, I wanted to validate. So data frame group by employee ID and take the count and filter that count should be greater than one. So this is a pass statement for the duplicate. For null, we are taking this, filtering this employee ID is null and it should give what? No records. That is what is the filter condition we have put. And we are getting no records. So all the test cases are passed. This is SCD type 1 validation. Any doubt? Prashant, Chitra, Sumati, Mukesh,
No, sir.
what about Chitra?
Yeah, it's clear, sir.
So this is, guys, SC type 1, very simple validation, count, data, duplicate, and null using the filter condition in the source and target. We have, validated. Now let us just come to SCD type 2. So SCD type 2, let me just execute. It will keep what? Both active as well as what, guys? Historic record. Do you guys agree with me? Yes or no?
Yes.
So if I want to, validate, let's suppose, guys, this historic and the active record. So first we can put a filter for historic and we can validate the historic data. Next, if I want to check the active record, I can put a filter for active and check the data. Also, I can put based on the date columns, get the data, and then use accept all, count, and equals, and duplicate and null. So that is what is the concept. Let us just see. So this is the SCD data. So this is particular whose name is Shyam. Shyam, this person, is in, India. From India, he's going to US, then he's moving to UK. So all the three, locations he is going, this is your source. In the target, what happens, how many columns will be added? Two columns will be added. What are the column name? From date and to date and active flag column. Yes or no, guys? So for which location it will be active? Tell me. For UK location, it will be active because this is the latest location. And for both this, old location, India and US, it will be N. And this is from which date to which date and from which date to which date. And this is an infinite date 2099. So this is my, target. This is my source. Now I want to validate the data. So how can I validate the data? I will have to first, put a filter for the validation. So let us just, see the validation part. Let me just come. So let us just come here, guys. Let's suppose I want to validate the count of inactive records. So what I'm doing is that inactive record is US and UK. Okay, so these are the inactive record. Inactive records. If I want to calculate. Okay, so I have taken the filter. Whichever the inactives are there. Is this the inactive? Inactive is which locations? India and USA. Okay, so India and US are the inactive records. So I'm just taking the count of inactive record, which is India and USA. I put a filter on the source data frame filter. This USA and India and their count. This is the filter I have put. And similarly for the target, I'm putting the filter condition for the target. I'm just putting this filter as N. So wherever this is and these are inactive record from the source, I have taken the location India and USS, so inactive, and then I'm taking the count of those inactive records, and then I'll put a if else between them and try to find the count differences if it is there. And for similarly for active record validation, it is UK. We'll take it from source and from target we'll put as Y. And similarly, guys, you can do the count validation. Now for the data validation, we are putting again, for inactive record for US and India, we are selecting those columns. Similarly for target, we are selecting for those columns, we're putting a filter condition as N. And guys, I have done only the data validation. You can do the count, duplicate, null also. So let's suppose, source data frame, except on target data frame, show, and target data frame, except on source and show. And similarly, for the, schema validation, if you want, you can select these columns from source and target, and you can do the print schema, which will tell the schema, and then we can put a if else if the schemas are passing or not. For duplicate, I have written group by the surrogate key. I wanted to check any duplicate, values are there in the surrogate key. Count and then filter count is greater than one. And similarly for null, surrogate key is null. So these are, guys, validation for SCD type 2, active and inactive. And then this is the validation for the, duplicate. This is the validation for null and the schema check. Yes or no, guys? Any doubt here? SCD type 2 code. Let me just put it in a notepad so that you can just see this and you can just let me know.
So in SCD2 type 2, the dates are already mentioned in the problem statement.
Yeah, SCD type 2, it will be mentioned, right? This is your source, okay? So which
Mhm.
are the location? India, US, and UK.
Mhm.
Now, what happened to this person, Shyam? First, he was where? First he was in, India. Then from India, he went to US, and then he went to UK. So these two columns will be added, right? Which are the two columns will be added? From date and to date. Okay, and active, flag. So three columns are added. Now, this columns will specifically tell that this person Shyam was in India from which date to which date, and the active flag will be N. Why? This is called a terminated record because this is a historic record. From India, he went to US. Let's suppose from 2020 January till 2021, December, he was in India. But from 22nd of 1st of January, he went to US and he stayed till March.
Yes.
And from April, he went to UK, and he is still in UK, so this is an active record. So we have given an infinite date. Yes, so two columns are added for date column, from date and to date, and active plan, which is Y for this particular record. That is
Ye-
what is SCD type 2.
Yes, got it, sir.
So after that, if I want to validate the active, records or inactive records, what is the approach? Chitra, can you tell me if I want to validate let's suppose, the inactive records, what will I do?
Yeah, so the inactive records we will so we'll check in the source, so which for the location India and US. So
Okay,
those are the
and here, what is the filter we are putting?
we look for the flag where the active flag is N.
Okay, and then we can, find out the count and the data and everything. But for the active record, what location will take?
It will be UK, location will be UK, and in the target active flag will be Y.
And then you can put the count and data using accept all. And
Okay.
for duplicate validations, we have taken for surrogate key and null. So for duplicate and null, I think you all know the now the code. Group
Yes.
by the particular column count filter count greater than one. And for null, filter column surrogate key is null, and this should give again no record. Yes or no, guys? What do you think, Prashant?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got it.
So SCD type 3, guys, it keeps the partial history. Let me just, explain you after seeing this, result. SCD type 3, I have told you what was SCD type 3 happening. We have the, previous location and current location. Let's suppose there are 10 locations. So what are the two locations will be there? Ninth location and 10th location. Yes or no,
Always
guys?
has to. Yes, sir.
This is something, when partial history is required. Okay. Let's suppose a person is there. So first he was single, then he got married, then he got, divorced. Then he got, again he got married. So we are not, bothered about, when he was single. Okay. So we just, what his current status and his previous status. That's all. Are you able to understand? Everyone is single and all those things. So the only last two, marital status is enough for the partial history. So this kind of situations will go for SCD type 3. So now see here, what is happening is that, if SCD type 3 is there, see the data, guys. So this is your data, person is in India, US, UK. So previous location is US and then current location is UK, and this is effective from this date. His name is one is Sham, and then the salary is 1000. This is your SCD3 output. Now, if I want to, check the, values for this, so what I will do is that for count validation, let's suppose, I have put, a location constraint as UK and try to find the count. And in the target also, if I take, for UK, the count should, match. And similarly for, data validation, select row, we are selecting from the source data frame, whatever the columns are there, let's suppose employee ID, employee name, salary, and then we're getting this, we are just did some, functions. Let's suppose any, trailing blank spaces are there, convert into uppercase. And this is the filter, previous location, and this is your current location, whatever your previous location is there. And just, in the previous location, I'm just putting a filter, let's suppose US. And similarly in the target, I'm taking the, filter location as, US. And then if we want, any difference, so source data frame, except all target data frame, except all source data frame, and just show the differences. So if I want to find the, count or data do and all those things. So we can do based on the previous location or current location. We can put a filter and we can do the validation. That's the ultimate thing. So first here we have taking the previous location as US, and then in the this is done in the source data frame. Similarly, in the final data frame, target data frame, again we are putting the previous location as the US and doing the validations. If I want for UK, I can do the same. So this is the SCD type 3. Are you clear, guys? SCD type 3. Yes or no, Mukesh? What about, Prashant, Chitra?
Yes.
So in
Yes,
the
sir.
data we checked for both previous and the
Current,
year.
previous and the current. Yes. Yes. Both the locations you have to check, right? The previous and the current, because here both are important, right? Because only last two values we are keeping.
Yeah, on the target, we have the active record flag Y, so we can easily get one record.
No, that is
But
only in SCD type 2. In SCD type 3, we don't have a, active flag. Okay. In SCD type 3, one column is getting added, whose name is current location and previous location. Are you able to understand? Don't mix up.
yeah,
In SCD type 2, we have a filter column which is added. Okay. In
yeah,
SCD type 3, there is no filter condition added. One column is added, which is named as what? Previous location and current location. So there was only one column whose name was location. Now we have one more column which is added. Let's suppose there was only location. Here, if you see only location. Now what is
yeah,
happening? Location is divided into two parts. What are the columns? Previous location and current location. And one more column is there, effective date, from the date it is effective. So it is always, column addition in SCD type 3. In the SCD type 2, it is record addition.
yes, sir.
The effective dates are here is the for the present one, right?
Yes,
UK.
yes, 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 UK.
Okay.
So what if there are changes in multiple columns in the source?
Multiple
So
column, it will be based on, particular, column. Let's suppose, if you want to make your dimension table, you have to take multiple dimension table at that time. You cannot do
yeah,
everything in the one table, because the rule of SCD is defined that one column we will make it as two, previous and the current, and then particular date at which it is, happening. So you will have multiple tables and multiple times, you can do the division, because we should
okay,
have the clarity. So for multiple tables, we'll have multiple columns and then we will, elaborate there, whatever the
yeah,
things are.
okay,
So this is guys, SCD type 1, SCD type 2, SCD type 3 validation. So now, let us just, talk about something about, initial and incremental load validation. So what is incremental load, by the way? Do you guys know? What is an
Uh,
incremental?
the
Hmm?
job
Hmm?
is running on daily basis. Uh, then yeah, the additional data that gets loaded.
So this is source and this is target. Let's suppose there are 100 record. And out of 100, let's suppose 100 records are loaded into the target. So it is a initial load or incremental load.
That will be initial load.
Initial load, or is also called as what? First time load. This is also called as initial load, or also called as what, guys? Also called as what? First
First
load.
time load. First time load.
Yes or no, guys? So all the record from the source, 100 out of 100 got loaded into the target. This is called initial load, first load, and full load. It's also called as full load. Now, what is incremental load? Incremental load, now we are just, loading, let's suppose, 10 records, okay, from the source to the target. So this is called, guys, 110 records are there in the target. This is called incremental load. You are incrementing. You are not, changing the dimension. SCD type is separate. Here we are just adding 10 more records. That is called as what? Incremental load. Yes or no, guys? So now how to, validate this incremental load, and, so many times, this question has been asked, with respect to ETL manual testing. Let's suppose, out of 100, 100 are loaded. This is, initial load, but 10 is, added in the second time, and then 110 records are, added. So this is called as an incremental load. 10 records are added. So now what will happen is that for small set of data, this incremental load will happen. Now what we'll do is that to validate this, for every load, there's a ETL run number. Have you heard about ETL run number column? So a column is added whose name is ETL run number. So for the first time load, it is ETL run number 1, then it is 2, then it is 3, then it is 4, and so on and so forth. So for the first time load, ETL run number is 1. This is fine. For the second time load, ETL run number will be what? 2. So we'll come to know, we can make a filter, for ETL run number 2, I want to validate the data. So we can, get this 110 count. So that is what based on the ETL run number column, we can, identify. And also based on the guys, date column. Have you heard about this date columns? Let's suppose this 10 records is loaded for a particular date. Let's suppose load date or updated date we can tell. Let's suppose I am writing here load date. Load date is, let's suppose 27th of Jan and 2026. So this particular date, this particular 10 records are loaded. So based on this date filter, I can find out this particular incremental load, which is also called second time load. This is also called as delta load, and I can put a filter and I can validate the data. That is called as incremental load. Am I clear about incremental load? Yeah, Chitra, Prashant, Sumati, Mukesh, what do you think about incremental load?
So loading the data, suppose already 100 data are there in source and target, then I am adding the 10 more data in source, then that will also be loaded into target. So that load 110 is called incremental load.
Or delta load or
Delta
second
load.
time load. Yes or
Second.
no?
Yes.
Yes. Yes or no? Chitra, are you understanding? Yes or no?
Yes.
So how can we identify that? Using ETL run number column or using the date column? Yes or no? Yes or no, Chitra?
Yeah, date column, timestamp. Yeah.
We are using the load date column or using the ETL run number. This is, guys, ETL manual testing. It's very, very, basic things. So now let me just, come to, the codes what I have written, guys, incremental, load validation. Let me just, highlight it. So validation using, guys, ETL run number. So first we are going to do the validation using, ETL run number. So what we'll do is that select count star from target where ETL run number equals to 2. We are taking it as, let's suppose the ETL run number is 2 and we're taking the same count from the source for the ETL run number 2, and then we can validate the count, guys. And then if we get this, this is the, this is a SQL written to validate the data. Now from the, for the, this is guys, we can tell it as, count validation or SQL query. Okay. There's a SQL query written. Now I want to do the, same validation. This is count validation using SQL query. I want to do, guys, validation using, Python and PySpark. Okay. So how can I do that? So validation using Python and PySpark, how can we do that? So what we'll do is that we'll put the guys in a target data frame, and then we'll put the filter and column ETL run number equal to 2. Whenever this is this is the condition, then we'll take the count, and this will be target count. Similarly for source data frame, we'll put a filter, ETL run number equal to 2, and take the count. So we'll get the source, count and target count, and then what we'll do is that we'll compare, guys, if source count equal to target count, pass it, else, fail it. This is, guys, the count comparison for, data validation. If it is SQL, we would have put a minus, ETL run number equals to true, select star from target, ETL run number equals to 2, minus select star from source, where ETL run number equals to 2. This is, guys, data validation using SQL. But if I have to, do, data validation using Python and PySpark, how can we do that? So this is done, guys, using, filter, target data frame filter and column ETL number equals to 2, and source data frame filter column ETL number equals to run number equals to 2. And records in show target, not in source. We are putting except all target data frame, except all source data frame, and show that, and source data frame, except all, target target data frame, and show that. This is the, record level validation. And then, guys, validation, technique, next technique. Let's suppose I write it as, technique number 2. Let me just, change the color. Let us take as technique number two. So for technique number two, using using first we'll see using SQL, and then we will see using PySpark. So using SQL, we are taking select count start from source, where load date whatever date is there, and similarly for the target. For data validation, we are putting we're taking this guys select star from target, where load date is this one, and select star from source, where load date is this one, and we are putting a minus between source minus target and target minus source. Similarly, using count validation using Python and PySpark, how can we do that? There are alternative methods which I'm explaining you. Using date column, what we are putting here, a target data frame, we are putting a filter load date equals to the particular load date. I have given the date as 27/7 or 2022. Similarly, for the source data frame, we are putting a filter. We are equating it to particular load date. You can put this value here also. Take the count, and then you can do if target count equals to source count, pass else fail. Similarly, for data validation, what we will do is that we will put the target data frame filter column and load date equals to this particular date, and similarly for source data frame filter column load date equals to this particular date, and then we can put record in target, not in source. We can put except all target data frame except all source data frame show, and record in source, not in target. So source data frame except all target data frame show. This is called, guys, in incremental load validation using PySpark. We have done based on the date columns, and we have put a filter, and we are putting this call method, and then we are putting the load date based on the date. Yes or no, guys? Are you clear with this one, this validation?
Sir, in real time, where we need to do, in which kind of table we'll get so that we can do this kind of the incremental load
You
validation?
will get the particular tables, whatever the tables are there. Let's suppose EMP table is on, now the incremental load is done, okay, and now you can validate the incremental loaded data. So in that you will have a column called as load date. You will select that load date column, and you will do the validation.
So, sir, we can say like salary of every all the employee is incremented every year. So that is called incremental data load.
No, incremental data load is not based on a particular value. It is based on a particular date.
Okay.
Understand,
If
Mukesh? Okay.
new employee will join, then we'll say the
No, the development team will first time load our data. Let's suppose he's loaded the entire data on 26th of January. Okay. This is initial load. Understand date column. Now he is doing some modification for a particular date. Okay. Let's suppose 27th of Jan. Or he is loading some data, okay, on 27th of date Jan. So the whatever modification is done, but the data loading is done based on the date column, right? The date is the primary factor to analyze this data has been modified. Okay, whatever values are there, don't worry about value. Out of 100 records, whatever value, employee name, salary, and all those things are there, that is gone. But this is done when? On 26th of Jan. This is how we will identify, right?
Mhm.
Now, 10 records, we are, modifying the salary, or we are adding new records. So now these things are done based on which column? Based on load date column. Yes or no? The
Okay.
load date column is now, we are doing all these things when? On 27th of Jan. So based on this column, we will identify, whatever, let's suppose 10 records are added. So this is what is the load date column I have written. This is
Mhm.
how we will identify that particular 10 records based on the date column.
Mhm. Okay, sir.
So this is, guys, incremental load, and this is, guys, initial load is the same validations what we have done. I will take, guys, tomorrow and day after tomorrow, all the, validations and transformations before I wrap up the syllabus on, Friday, for the, interview questions and CV preparation and project explanation. So before that, guys, these are the things which you have to, understand for the count data and incremental load validation. So next is, guys, I have done, guys, created an agent for you. Okay. So let us just, show you how to create an agent. So just give me 1 second. Let me just go there. So, guys, there's something called as, agent builder, in OpenAI and, generative AI, how to create an agent. This thing I'm just, introducing in this batch. so that you have some idea of how an agent is created and how, why they are, requiring and what is the prompt we need to pass. So getting started with OpenAI, agent builder. So what happens is that OpenAI agent builder is a, no code tool. That means we don't, write any code, as drag and drop is there. So we can create our guys, multiple, agent workflows using drag and drop interface. Okay. So we will see guys, how to create a, agent and the workflow step by step. So agent builder is part of, OpenAI, agent kit. There's something called as agent kit, which I will, show you a new shoot, tool that makes it, easy to create, manage and deploy AI agents all within, OpenAI platform. So this AI agents and all will be created in the OpenAI platform. So agent builder is, no code drag and drop interface with a visual, canvas where you can do, intelligent workflows instead of writing, complex script. You can, visually connect to ChatGPT, powered agent tools and data sources directly on the canvas, making it, simple to design and understand how AI system works. So for that, guys, we need to, create a platform in OpenAI platform. First of all, we have to give the card details also. So I have, created Open AI platform. So this is how this OpenAI platform will look if I want to, create a agent. So here, if you come, this is the agent kit. So let's suppose I want to build an agent. So I'll click on this build agent, click on agent builder and open agent, builder. And if you click on open agent builder, you will get to this particular page. And let us just see how this page is looking. We'll have the workflows and the details which we will, fill. So let this page, get loaded. Yeah, so this is guys, this is the page. It will be, loaded, and it will tell, in this agent builder, canvas. It will tell, you want to create a workflow. So build a chat, agent workflow with the custom logic and tool. So do you want to create a workflow? So I want to create a workflow, guys. So I will just click on create. And this is the page it will look, this is start button and my agent. So if I want to give any name to my agent, let's suppose I want to give a, name. Let's suppose I want to give, uh, ETL validator. And let's suppose I give, guys, today's date, 27th of Jan 26. Okay, this is the name I have given, and you can just give your, guys, this instructions. This is like a prompt, this is, something prompts are like, instructions which we give to our agent. Based on that, it gives the responses. So general AI, manual testing, people who are doing, they are doing giving this some, kind of prompts and just seeing that the desired output we are getting. Let's suppose I want to, search for a PySpark code. It should not be a Python code should come. So this is, general AI testing. But we are doing is that we're trying to, create a particular agent. So I have given the name of the agent as ETL validator 27th Jan 26, and I have to give the instructions to the agent. How should, this model should behave, and what are the technologies it should, use. So let me just, show you. So I have, created, some kind of, instructions so that I can, tell you. So this is, guys, a particular instructions I want to give. Okay, you are an expert manual ETL, testing and data validation assistant. Your role is to guide, explain, and document manual ETL validation, activities performed in data warehousing and big data project. These things, guys, we have to think. We can take the help of, ChatGPT or another, AI tools to get our, instructions. But we have to think also how to tell that. So I have written, you must think and respond like a senior ETL tester or data, validation analyst. Core responsibilities: ETL understanding and analysis. The details I have written here. Manual ETL validation, perform source to target data validation manually, validate full and incremental load scenarios, compare data using SQL queries and manual sampling techniques, validate data accuracy, completeness, and consistency. Similarly, data validation type, transformation validation, SCD validation, error handling, and reconciliation, data test documents, and test techniques. And best practices I have written, validate small samples before full data validation, and always validate count before data comparison, keep screenshots and query results as an evidence, ensure business rules are validated and not just the data. Response guidelines provide step-by-step manual validation procedures, include SQL queries, example, use clear checklist and validator steps and explain what to validate and why it is important and assume that the user is performing the manual testing. Now let me just give these instructions to our agent what we have created. This is the agent, these are the instructions I have given. And here, which is the model we are taking, let's suppose chat 4.1, 5.1, whatever version of the model we want, we can, take. If any output format we want in text, JSON, whatever we want. As of now, I have taken, or text. So this is the name, this is the instruction. This is a very important. These two are very, important thing, the instructions and the name, what we call. This is like a prompt to, the instructions what we are giving to for our agent to perform. And this is the output, this is again output and model. These two are again very important, which is particular model, chat GPT 4.1, and output is text, and then just click on publish. So new agent will be created. Yeah. So this agent published workflow can be used in API calls and version for easy tracking. So what is the name you want to give to your this was the name we have given for the workflow. Now what you want to give the to the agent. So you have to write down guys the name. So I'm writing VTS ETL ETL testing agent and he's the expert. Let me just keep the name like this. Okay, click on publish, guys. This is the agent is published. Okay, so if you want to create any domain and all, so leave that. Just this is your agent which is created. Now here we have created the agent. Now run this. Let me just run this, and here we give the our messages. Let's suppose validate two tables. Okay. And this is the message I have given. Now my agent is thinking and it will give the output. So it is giving the output, very specific output, certainly validating two tables and such as source table and target table is core manual ETL testing. So manual validation steps two tables, source and target table, and column this has taken a row level row count validation. It has put this equal and it is showing the validation data column level validation. And then it is telling me, data type and length validation, null validation, and then it's telling duplicate record validation, primary key and referential integrity validation, transformation and business logic rule validation, and documentation. Save all the SQL output and scripts as test evidence, and checklist summary, best practices tips. So this is my agent, which is given the output based on the input what we are provided. Did you guys understood how to create a ETL agent? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, most of the revision we can do here itself. It is suggesting everything.
Yes. Yes or no? So go and
Yes.
guys, create a, particular, agent today. Okay. So I will, share you this particular, notes. Okay. So from here, first thing is, you have to make an account here. Yeah, with the screenshots, guys, I've given the steps here. So
Is
don't,
it
think.
paid one? This
Yeah,
account?
this is, paid one. Yes, Mukesh. So you have to go to your this OpenAI, okay, and you have to first of all create a particular account, and then you have to give your card, and around 1,000 rupees will be paid, and then only you can create the agent.
Okay.
So if you don't pay, you cannot create the agent. Okay. So
No,
that
we'll
is
try,
the
sir.
yeah, that
Definitely.
is the limitation. Go to agent builder, click on open agent builder, and then you have to create your particular agent because this is very popular technology which is emerging. Okay, so they
Okay.
also know agent builder is a very popular technology. So let me charge them to create a workflow, and then this is your agent. You give your name instructions, and then you publish it, and then you run it, and then you give your instructions, and it give the output. So overall, this is the guys agent what you have created. So when you guys explain your experience with respect to an ETL automation tester, so you should tell guys, ETL automation testing. Again, I will tell you these things again. ETL automation testing I have done using Python, PySpark, PyTest, and all those things. But I have also worked in guys, AI testing and generative AI testing by creating the agents. Okay, by creating the agents. So they will ask, how you have, created the agent. Then you have to tell I was logging into, OpenAI platform. And step by step you explain, okay? First, because they are also, very much, keen because this very, 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 very latest technology. So they will, ask definitely if you tell this thing. So first I will log in into, OpenAI, application. Then step two is that I'll go to the agent section and I will, from the agent section, I will click on guys one, create an agent. And then after clicking on this create an agent, I'll click on what? Step number three. I'll click on, create a workflow. And then after clicking a workflow, what will happen is that you have to, guys, give these things. Let's suppose the name and the instructions in the workflow. So I'll give the enter the name and instructions and the model and the output format, the model and output output format in the for the workflow. Okay. And then finally, guys, the final step is step number four. We will, publish it. Publish means, we'll save it. Okay. Step number five is, we will, run the code, run the workflow. And once after running the workflow, we will, give the, commands. We'll give, whatever we want to search. We can write like this, whatever we want to search. We can, give the text and we can get the output. Give the text and we can get the output. So this is, guys, the generative AI testing what I have done in OpenAI platform. And also in the Databricks, I have used, in case, debugging these issues. I showed this thing, yesterday. Debugging, debugging the issues. I have used, Databricks diagnosis thing. Debugging the issues. I have used um, Databricks debugging using using AI. And the next thing is in Databricks directly directly we can use uh, directly we can use AI by giving the giving the commands or prompts. So these are the things we have given, and we have done the AI and Gen AI testing. So shall I create one agent, guys, again, or are you clear? What do you
No,
think,
sir.
Sridhar?
You
So
can
what?
create one more,
So
sir.
what is the utility here? Like after creating this agent,
Hmm.
is it like a assistant which
Yeah,
will
yeah, it's
help
it's a
us
very, very,
out,
it's specific,
or
specific things if you want to, search, then you require an agent, right? If you go to book a ticket, let's suppose I want to, book a ticket. So you have seen, no, there's a particular agents which are created. Okay, you give the, from arrival and, time of departure, from and destination and all these things. And this agent, if you have any clarification or you want from the agent to book a ticket, so that time, these agents are there, right? In so many apps like SpiceJet or Indigo or any, airline or anywhere nowadays, these agents are, emerging. So no. This wants to, actually reduce the, manual effort. Once the agent is created, if suppose a ETL tester comes, he can just write, I want to build a two table. Okay, now it becomes very specific because we have given the instructions. He will get all the, codes, all the understanding, and then he can utilize it because it's very specific to a specific topic. Tell me, guys, any more, Shall I create one more agent? What do you think?
Yes,
So
sir.
it's same like Google search, no? We instead of searching in Google, we search here. Is it like that?
Yeah, you have to, searching Google is, quite tough. It is not about particular, specific, and it's not a particular specific. It's a, it's a long search, I can tell it like that. There's a lot of things you will search, but here is a very, very specific search. Are you able to understand? So that is why, these agents are created. If I want to book an Indigo flight and there's an agent and I search there, so it will tell me, this is the Indigo flight, this is going from this time to
Yeah,
this
yeah,
time, these are the flights available. But the same thing I can search in Google also, right? But
yeah,
that is not very, very specific, right? So that is why these agents are created.
yeah. Do we use this in like real time in companies?
In company, agents are created. We are just passing the prompt and getting the outputs to get a specific outputs. Let's suppose an agent I have created, right? So there, you can,
Hmm.
give, I want to validate two tables. So it will give the SQL queries. It will give the, some kind of codes. So those things tester can utilize, right?
Yeah, yeah. So can it help with like creating queries also, SQL, writing
Yes,
SQL
yes,
queries?
SQL queries, Python queries, PySpark query, any query. Let's suppose, shall I create one more guys agent? What do you think? Yes or no? Let me just, create, one more, agent. So let me just, start from the beginning. So go to this guys, agent section. There are a lot of, agents which is, getting created. So I don't want to go for, multiple agents. So let me just, remove all there are so many, agents has come. Just let me just, remove. I will take a simple, agent and create it. Just, delete. So this agent, let's suppose I want to create, I'm giving, let's suppose this time I'm giving a name as, ETL automation validator. Okay. And here I'm getting, giving some, some instructions we have to give guys, for validating of that ETL automation validator. Let's suppose, validate this we have to, think how we can, give the instruction. I'm giving a simple instruction, validate the data frames using, you can take the help of ChatGPT also. I'm just giving a simple, data frame using, Python, PySpark, PyTest, give the answer with the codes and detail explanation. This is something, some instructions I have given, and then I'm publishing it. And new agent is, let's suppose the new agent is,
Testing.
automation validator. And let me just, give as, 27th of Jan. Okay. So let me just, publish it. So this is, published. Okay. After once it is, published, you just click on this run button. And once, here you want to, let's suppose I am giving some, message, validate to data frame. Okay, so now we will give an enter and see, what is the output, we are getting. So this is what is learning, ETL automation validator, PySpark data frame validator. It is a, if schema matches, if data matches, and then it is giving, the setup, and then it is, telling the actual, Spark dot create data frame it has created, and then validation of the functionality. Let's suppose I want to validate the schema. Let's suppose I want to do the let's suppose I want to do an equality check for the data validation, and then PyTest integration if I want to do. So this is what guys, a detailed explanation it will give as per the instructions whatever you will be providing. So that is what is the done the work of the agent. Are you getting now guys some idea how to create an agent and how to give the instructions, which is the model, what is the output, and how it is utilized in ETL testing and anywhere, anywhere, any field. Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir. For
So,
revision, for doing revision, it is very quick, sir. We can do revision in 1 or 2 hours by creating this agent.
yeah, you can create an agent and you can just have a look. You can go to my recording and you can just do that. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So, yeah. So that's all, guys. For today. Let me just stop the recording.